Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about why UWMC United Wholesale Mortgage is a better investment than Rocket based on historical data. Let's jump right into this one. This one here has a lot of news, and they even started almost a war with Rocket and other stocks. And before even going to why I see them as a better company, just one quick thing that I do want to go over is the interview that the chief operating officer did. And they were discussing a little bit of what happened with Rocket Mortgages and some of their other rivals. And I'm just going to read a little bit because I don't like rephrasing, and I would love to give you straight on facts. So UWM, for years and years, we've invested in the wholesale community, not just brokers who do business with us. But it's been a goal of ours, it continues to be a goal of ours, to really increase the entire wholesale channel. So what we found is that there's a couple of lenders that are really going against that initiative to really grow the channel based on a couple of things that are being done. So for us, what we said is, hey, we're here to help you grow. We invest in billions of dollars in technology. We invest in training, we invest in helping to recruit, we invest in helping you grow your business. Well, there's a couple of lenders out there in the wholesale world that are directly working against us. Rocket is one of them. So really, all we said is, hey, if you work with them, you can't work with us. And there's about 75 wholesale lenders out there altogether. So it's by no means is it, hey, you can only exclusively work with UWM. It's that you can either work with UWM and other 75 out there, or you can choose the other guys and other 75 lenders out there. And I have an update regarding that 75, so keep that 75 in mind. I'll tell you a bit more about it in a second. And so Brian Sozi asked, when you say they're working against, what are some of the lenders? What are some of the things that lenders are doing? Are they undertaking unsavory business practices, or are they discounting? What are you seeing? And they responded is, well, there are a couple of things we're actually seeing. So the recruiting, kind of substantial recruiting of the wholesale officer, loan officer, is to go into the retail world, which would obviously have an impact on the wholesale business that we can do. But the second one, I think, is even more critical to the wholesale channel. For years and years, brokers have relied on and done a very good job of servicing clients from realtors and from financial planners, like truly the bread and the butter. And brokers have done a fantastic job in the purchase world. So as springtime purchase comes, brokers really dominate that. So what's been happening is that a lender out there is saying, hey, to the realtors, come directly, cut out the wholesale loan officer in the middle, and come directly and we'll take care of your client, which will have a big sacrifice, a big hit on the wholesale channel with mortgage brokers. So you get to see it right there. They're working, these two companies, one of them being Rocket, are working against the entire industry they're in for UWMC and other 75 lenders. And so in a bit of perspective, so we got the 75. Here's where things come a little bit nicer there. So from that 75, 73 other lenders. So you have 75 other than UWMC, so 76 total. There's 74 with UMC, so 73 and UWMC, making a 74 that are taking a stand with UWM. So that means there's only, basically they ganged up on on Rocket and the other company because this one here is really trying to align the vision with the entire lenders. And there's around 10,000, well, I'm just going to read this here. As of midnight last night, more than 10,000 brokers have chosen to stand with UWM and 73 other lenders. Less than 400 have declined. So you're looking, what, 400 out of more than 10,000? Peanuts. That's nothing. And that really kicks out Rocket out of the game a little. So this email was actually going on for UM partners, and I got it from this Reddit person here. So shout out to them. I'm a part of this community as well on Reddit. So you can go ahead. There's a bunch of different posts. We try to regulate it as much as possible. And another thing I want to talk about is the Feds. Today, Federal Reserve raises growth forecast but leaves rates on hold. And the reason why I want to cover this one before going on towards comparison between UWMC and Rocket, where things get a little bit juicy, we need to talk about the Feds. So the Feds said, hey, we're on track to achieve our goals. Our growth is going to be nice. We have more than 10 million people that still need to go to get to work. We're not going to increase interest rates. And right here, there are in range of 10 million people. Oops, I ended up clicking something. 10 million people who need to get back to work, and it's going to take time for that to happen. Realistically, given the numbers, it's going to take time. And they go even a bit below. 7 of 18 officials see rate hike in 2023 up from 5. Powell says it could, actually median plot shows rates on hold through 2023. So for this year, next year, interest rates are expected to kind of stay around the same level that we're looking at right now. So honestly, that's a good thing. That is a good thing that we're looking at. UWMC gives that ability to buy at a lower interest rates, and even if interest rates increase, UWMC has good technology in offering things like jumbo rates. And what are jumbo rates? So jumbo rates helps mortgage brokers compete with big banks. They offer lower rates and at a lower closing time. So talking about this, UWM is the #1 wholesale purchaser and lender in America. And today added its new product Prime Jumbo to rate sheets, providing independent mortgage brokers with a competitive edge over banks and retail lenders. Prime Jumbo offers competitive rates, simplified guidelines, and gives brokers the ability to run DU for approved eligibility closing loans up to $2 million with an LTV up to 89.99%. It's also available on purchased rate term refinances, cash out, as well as primary, secondary residence and investments properties. And a quick thing here, they're very excited about it, yada yada, but this is not even what I want to cover. What I want to cover is putting the books beside UWMC and Rocket. Before doing so, a lot of people have been looking into the FinViz right away and saying, hey, this is actually a negative income. Wrong, because take a look into even Yahoo Finance. For some reason, it's not really showing the last quarter, and I noticed that FinViz is doing the same thing. The price over book is accurate, but you take a look into, let's say, the quarter's results and whatnot. They're not negative income of -5 million, because this assumes that they don't have any income. And right off the bat, this is completely wrong. Well, you might say, well, no, maybe actually it's right. Well, let me show you. If you go to their website, you go to their financials, you're able to see quarter to quarter, they were net positive on income. And that right off the bat brushes any confusion that you might have had about this one. I've seen a lot of that kind of topic online. Now, the next thing is UWMC versus Rocket. And I found this chart on Google. It's very useful. A lot of people don't use Google Finance. But here's a quick look. Take a look into the last 3 quarters. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. Revenue is in green. Net income is in yellow. And you get to see that UWMC, the revenue has been increasing and so has their income. Let's take a quick look into Rocket Mortgage. You get to see that revenues have been somewhat steady, right? Net incomes, it's barely. It's not really there, at least based on Google Finances. Even in the quarter incomes there, if you're taking a look, UWMC is making billions of dollars. Rocket is struggling a little bit with net income, not so much in terms of the revenue, but income. And you get to see that there's a massive gap over there. And even year over year, you're seeing a little bit of worse results. Year over year on UWMC, it's increasing. We're seeing better results, 354% on net income. In terms of Rocket annual, you're looking at 77. Again, I'm not exactly sure how accurate this information is, but this is based on Google Finance, and I see Google as a little bit of a reliable information there. And so this is why UWMC has a lot of better fundamentals in terms of growth. It has a lot of opportunities, and this is again why I do think that UWMC can easily beat something like Rocket in the longer term. Now towards the technical analysis. And before going on towards technical analysis, if you enjoy the content that I deliver to you and if you'd like to see more of these, mention down what other stocks you wanted to see other than this one, and also give a subscribe and leave notifications on for there. Drop a like, share with a friend. I'm very welcoming, and if you'd like to join our Discord down, you can have a chat with me. I'm very easy to approach. So on a one-day perspective here on UWMC, technical analysis, we're looking a little bit rougher before, yes, but it's above the 10 SMA line. The MACD is positive. ADX indicates that there is easily a trend that can easily form here, and momentum is above at 1, so it's 139. Things are looking really bullish on this one. Now on a 2-hour perspective, and I don't like to do 2-hour perspective on UWMC because this is one to hold. Forget Wall Street bets hype a little. This is actually a good investment in my perspective. I have positions in it for long term, and even when it jumped to 1245, and you will see my entries around here, I didn't sell. For one reason, I think this one is definitely one of these stocks that will be worth it to hold for a longer term and is severely undervalued. It's merely so here we're looking into this one here, and 2-hour perspective, things are looking back bullish. Your MACD is flying off. Your momentum is looking bullish, and I want to look into stochastic fast and stochastic slow. And from a stochastic fast, stochastic slow perspective, it doesn't even show that this is the top. It shows it's more of an accumulation period that we're seeing again. And accumulation is definitely a positive thing. So for now, we need to look into the Fibonacci retracements. Significant support is at 847. We've broken it a few times, but there's another support below there, so we'll talk about that on the normal supports. And below there is 724. Significant resistances. This is the one to break, 923. It was rejected once back on 10th of March. Above there, 985, 1046, 1133, and the 1245 level. And from there, I need to go back, let's say 1 month on a 2-hour perspective and start drawing some price line actions. Current significant support, and this is huge because we broke this and currently it is the current support we're looking at, is actually sitting up at the 899. That's massive. Below there, we're looking at 881. Below there, 857. Below there, we're looking at 827, 809, and then down to 758, and then down to 735. Now, significant resistances, one we're kind of just a tad struggling with, 909. And if we break this, we might actually see a little bit higher. We might get a little bit of struggle on 923, which was on the Fibonacci retracements. Above there, we're looking at 958, 993, which is closer to 10 bucks, 1060, and then we're jumping up to 1141, 1250. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this stock? I still hold, and if it does dip, and I kind of wanted to perhaps scoop someone like the lower 7 ones, and I wasn't able to, but I'm not mad at it. I definitely even think about this one on averaging up every day. It's one of these stocks that if it does dip, I would love to hold some more, to buy some more because of the long-term prospect. I did go in my last couple of videos. I think my last video I did talk about their potential, their financials, etc. And then the one before I had a really amazing meeting with their investor relations where I shared some of the answers. So if you have any questions for them, drop them below because we do have an access towards investor relations where we can ask them any questions we want and everything is public. It's just usually in a better format than we can have to search for them, or some of them might be implied information. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a wonderful day.